We're going to go over the 5 gears today, but first, Mappy, tell us a little bit about yourself. I did some digging, and I see. Well, we talked yesterday. You're a
Yeah.
homeschool mom of 3, and
Yes.
you have
Yes.
MBA from University of
Yeah.
Akron, and you're also a
Yes.
health and wellness coach.
Yes.
On top of that, you help nonprofits in your community achieve their vision. That's really
Yeah.
cool. You're doing amazing work. Tell us something that we should know about what you've been doing lately.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that introduction. I'm grateful to be here. I'm so grateful to be able to share. I just love all the content, and I think the more we learn, the better we are as leaders. And so this is great. Like you say, I am daughter, wife to my husband, Craig. I have 3 daughters. They're 15, 13, and 12. It's a fun stage of life with teenagers at home. They get a bad rep, but I will say they're just fun. They're a lot of fun. And I do have a love for my community, and I have been given the gift of being connected with some nonprofits in the area, especially one response. And I just have this passion to help teams thrive. And about nonprofits that I was telling you yesterday is that they already have the passion. They want to achieve the mission in the city or in the area that they're at, and it's just give them some tools to work better as a team and also influence the community. And in that way, we can even see the kingdom grow here. So that makes me feel alive.
That's awesome. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, great. Thank you. I look forward to continuing to get to know you and the impact you're having in your people. Would you bring to us why the 5 gears and why that's been so important in your leadership?
Yes. So today we're going to talk about the 5 gears. This is something that I actually learned back in 2019, but to tell you the truth, I really was one of the things that you learn and you put away, and then it came back to the table when I joined Giant, and I was like, why have I not been using this? This is an amazing tool. So I know you guys heard of the 5 voices, and today I come to bring you the 5 gears, which is all it's going to do. Thank you, Eddie. All it's going to do is just give you kind of like a sign language that you can use. This is why it's so great. You can use it at home, you can use it at work, you can use it in your community, and you can gain influence this way. So just think about this. Like has anybody ever driven a shift, like a stick shift? I have not. And so I had to actually, when I learned this tool, I had to learn about it, right? I had never driven a car with a manual transmission. And the thing with this is you typically start in the first gear, and then you move through the gears in order to navigate, to go from, the flat road to the hills, different areas. The thing with our lives is that sometimes we get stuck in one gear and we just don't even know it. And so I can tell you, I am a Connect creative pioneer. And so I can see this tool and tell you exactly what are the gears that I get stuck in and the gears that are really hard for me to navigate. So that's what we're going to do today. So today I'm going to tell you, I'm going to summarize these 5 gears for you. And then I'm going to give you a +1, which is the responsive mode. And then I'm going to tell you what to trade them up with. And so we're going to get to that. But as I explain, I just have a little homework for you is I want you to pay attention to the gears and maybe do a star or take a note of what you think you get stuck in, because when we get to the trade up part, I'm going to give you a little secret on how to just navigate that gear more successfully in life. Because at the end of the day, when you use all your 5 gears, you're going to be able to be more present and you're going to be able to be more connected. And connection is where relationships grow. And this is how we just navigate life successfully. So we're going to start at the very last one, just so that we can backtrack to the first one. Fifth gear. Fifth gear is focus mode. This is when it's like 3:00 in the afternoon, you know you're gonna end your workday at 5 p.m. You have to get this project done, and then you just shut the door in your office and you just put all your senses to it. You turn off your phone, you turn off your email, and you're like, I have to get this done in this hour or 2 hours, and you just focus and you get it done. This gear is very task oriented, it's fully focused, and you're moving quickly because you have a deadline. You gotta get it done, right? Fourth gear is pass mode. This is the one that I can tell you most of us can live in. This is like my danger zone for me personally, just because like you said, like I'm a mom, I'm entrepreneur, I'm home and work and all the things. So you are trying to multitask. You have emails, you have phone calls, you are answering a text, you are answering your kid that comes in the door, or your coworker that comes in the door. So you are in 20 different things at the same time, and you're trying to get it all done. Then we move to third gear. So third gear is social mode. That's just kind of to be present socially. And the good thing about third gear, or kind of like the gift in third gear, is you can move from third to fourth and fifth, or from third to second. This is when you go to lunch with somebody, or this is when you actually spend time with others socially. You can be a meeting, after a meeting, or it can be at a dinner party, or when you walk out of church, for instance, you know, conversations are happening. They're not deep. They're just very much social interactions, and they're just fun. And so the thing with third is that some of us like third a lot. I am a connector, so this is one of the ones that I love because it gives me the entrance to move into second gear. And I'll explain to second, and then you'll see why I mean. This is the gear of deep conversation. This is when you get to know somebody. You are definitely going deep, and it's a two-way street, right? It's not just you talking about yourself, it's you actively listening to other people. This is when you focus on being interested and not in theme. And this is where relationships truly flourish. But as with all other gears, there's also caution, you know, when you just get stuck on second gear. You know, you may be talking too much or too long. You might have unrealistic expectations of what the other person might be sharing with you. You know, and this is something that you definitely want to develop. Or maybe you have it too much. You may be functioning on second all the time, and then we are going to teach you how to trade up to others. And then first gear is our recharge mode. So I remember one time at a season in my life, I was just working a lot, and somebody asked me, like, how do you recharge? Like, what are you doing to recharge? And I was like, I'm too busy to recharge. And the person responded, no, you're too busy not to recharge. And I was like, what do you mean? And it was like, wow, like why, you know, like an aha moment. Yeah, I'm too busy not to recharge, because you cannot operate on an empty tank. You cannot give your best to people on an empty tank. Chances are is if you don't recharge, the people on the other side of you are suffering because you are giving them a version of you that is not healthy. And that is not healthy for you, and it's not healthy for them. It doesn't help anybody. So this is something that, how does recharge looks for you? I don't know. It's all of us are different and unique. And this is like a little bit of a homework that is fun to get into. You just ask yourself, like, when do I feel deeply rested? For some people, it can be time alone with God. It can be going for a walk. It can be playing golf. It can be playing a sport or working out. I can tell you, for me, my favorite absolutely is spending time with the Lord. But it can look differently sometimes. You know, sometimes it's in the morning as soon as I wake up. And sometimes it's just taking a whole day of like journaling and walk for walks on hikes. doing devotionals or reading. It looks different for everybody, but it's definitely important for you to identify what are your areas in which you recharge. And so in that way, you can make sure you schedule them in your schedule. Like you can put it in your schedule, basically. And then there is responsive mode. It's not reverse, it's responsive mode. So responsive mode, I love it because this is one that actually gives you influence with people. This is when you say, oh, you know what? I cannot believe I did that. I am so sorry. You are taking ownership of the mistake you've made, or you're just backing up a little and realize that what you did, you could have done better, or you could have done it another way. And this is something that people pay attention to. You know, I have heard people in my life who have said, you know, Mapi, I just earned so much more respect for you once you like identify why you could have done better, or why what you like didn't do too well, but then you were like, you know what, I'm sorry, I could have done that better. So don't take this for granted. There is power of influence in this. This is when people truly respect you because they know that you are being intentional about realizing what is that you could have done better. You are looking into how your actions are affecting others and taking ownership and accountability for that. Okay, so now that you know what the 5 years are, I'm gonna tell you how to trade the map. And by this, I mean is if you look at this and you're like, you know what? I operate on third for the most part, and fourth, maybe third and fourth, and I really don't do fifth or first. So this is how I'm gonna just give you a little bit of examples of how you could trade the map, because the goal is that you operating all of them at the right time and you're able to shift quickly so that you can develop good relationships and you can be present and you can be more connected. So if fifth is something that is hard for you, like FOMO is hard for you, who is one? I am one. Fifth is really hard for me. So like when I open my calendar at the beginning of the week and I have not scheduled fifth year in the calendar, then I'm in trouble for the week. So because it's hard for me, I actually put it in my calendar. Not only that, but I also try to love people well by telling them what I'm going to do. So I will tell in my office or my husband or my kids, I'll be like, hey, from 3 to 5 today, I have to work on this project. Please, can you just give me this privacy so I can keep working on this? They know, they're aware I'm not being rude by closing the door or by not talking or not answering my phone. They know I'm working on something. If you're in fourth gear, if you're in task mode all the time, I can tell you, you are probably dependent on what other people's agenda is for you. So you have to be protective of your time. So if you're waking up, trade it up by truly focusing on what brings you life. So if you're waking up and opening your phone and reading your email first, that's like people have needs for you and your time. So maybe trade that up for doing something that gives you life and doing something that centers you, or maybe jotting down what you have to do for the day so you are more focused and you don't have your head on 20 different things. Social mode. Social mode, this is where you are thrive on and you're good at. Chances are that maybe you are not getting all the stuff that you're supposed to get done in time, or maybe you're not getting it all done. And so, or also it might be that you cannot, get to know other people well. So here would be just choose 3 relationships that you want to deepen. For second year connect mode, just practice third and fourth. Look or pay attention to somebody that is really good at this. And with first mode, maybe have a person, you tell them, hey, I'm going to recharge this way. Can you keep me accountable? I got to make it happen. And so those are ways that you can truly trade the map and learn how to shift your gears throughout the day to be more successful. So that's what 5 gears is for you. I challenge you to truly use them in your life, at home, at work, is really a gift. And it's a sign language that can totally radically change the way you operate and benefit others in the meantime.
Yeah, I love the way that I do my same. Just being intentional to make framing my week, having enough time in the right gears so that I'm intentional on that which is important and not that which is just urgent trying to steal my time from me. That's huge, Mappy. Thank you so much. Great job. The visuals at the beginning with the cars and the different hills and mountains that we climb each week and the different gears we have to shift into no matter what we come against. So that's very helpful. Thank you. Eddie, you want to give us a final thought and close us out?
Absolutely. Mapi, it's always a pleasure to see you, to talk to you. Man, you have a lot of gold in there. And so I would say that reverse stuff is something I'd never heard, right? You gain so much credibility when you just say, hey, I could have done it better. I'm sorry, right? Or just reverse. That's new for me. That is, I hadn't actually heard it that simple, right? For reverse. So yeah, thank you. And it's just I was hearing you say it in English and I was like, oh man, I was like, maybe we should have a toolkit in Spanish right after English toolkit. This would be great. So you guys are all welcome, obviously, so yes. Anyways,
thank you.
A pleasure getting to hang out with you. Really thankful for you. Really thankful for your gold. And to the rest of you, really excited to be connected, to be doing this together. Please email John or I, right? We'd love to be able to continue to collaborate this space and to be able to share. Becky, Mike, Jimmy, just be able to share, to teach tools, to be together. So Itzel, as well. So thank you guys. And we'll see you soon. Have a wonderful, wonderful week.